All right, Brian, here is your video inspection of your engine bay. My name is Jordan. This is Spokane Preinspection. We're down here at Subaru Spokane today. Starting with fluids, we're checking the brake fluid. This comes back nice and clear. Of course, washer fluid, levels are fine. Power steering fluid level is okay. Fluid looks it's acceptable for the mileage in the year, for the quality of the fluid. Not seeing cracked belts or damage or anything to the serpentine belt. Not seeing any leaks, coolant leaks in the front end, down below. Not seeing any vacuum line cracking, not seeing any damage or rodent infestation to conduit. There is no damage or modifications inside the power distribution box in the engine bay. We've got igniter circuitry here for the coil on plug system. Not seeing any damage, anything there. No rust or leaks on the ABS module. The battery is running at 12.3 volts with the vehicle off. That's a little bit low. 12.03 volts. That's a little low with the vehicle off. I'd like to see that closer to 12.5. So I'd recommend the battery is 2022. I'd recommend, maybe another year to keep an eye on that battery. Like I said, I'd like to see it at about 12.5. So checking rubber hoses on passenger side, looking for cracks, leaks, seeping, sweating, broken fittings, bracketry. I'm checking the core support, the front of the vehicle, or the crush rail as well, looking for any damage down below, maybe anything been repaired, changes in paint, changes in maybe some creasing in the paint, like it was pulled straight after being buckled. Not seeing any of that. Looking down at engine mounts, not seeing anything on the top end. Visual inspection comes back okay. We'll do a further testing with the engine on. Checking main PCM breakout harness from the firewall. Not seeing any weeping, corrosion, water intrusion, rodent damage. That looks fine. Going underneath the vanity cover. No rodent infestation again here on top of the intake manifold. No broken harnesses, broken bracketry. Not seeing any leaks, any oil deposition or from the valve covers, say, or leakage from the intake manifold. No staining, crystallized staining excessive up here on the top of the radiator like it's been overheating or leaking. Not seeing any staining or leaking on the front end for the transmission auxiliary coolers, power steering coolers. Maybe an auxiliary towing fan. That appears to be in good health, not cracks, taking any damage. Harnesses looks clean in here. Wiring looks clean in here. Driver's side, not seeing any damage down on the crush rail below, frame rail. I'm going to give the engine bay off a clean bill of health. Looks good to me in here. Thank you. All right, next video, we're progressing into the interior of the vehicle. All power functions on the driver's seat work. The passenger seat is unpowered. All dash componentry is intact. It needs a cleaning, the whole vehicle. I would advise the dealership needs to run this through the detail shop. We've got kind of crud in here. It looks like maybe peppermint candy or something. Again, all panels are good. No damage in any of the dials of vehicle controls. All the center console components are intact. Let's see, moving outside, around, back seat. All the back seats adjust, all functionalities are present. No contamination or debris down into the seat rails, which will cause problems later. Third row, split folding, comes down, opens just fine, actuates just fine. Bringing that seat back. Rear controls, mechanically everything's here. None of the buttons are broken. Everything is here in the interior compartments. We'll test all these functionalities with the vehicle on our road test. Moving out to the body, there is some minor paint damage on the front and rear bumper covers. There is no crush damage or crash damage from collision. From that paint damage, cosmetic only. Your trunk has its this is left, your receiver, hitch receiver, stock, bottle jack. All of this stuff is still here, so it's not missing. Interior paneling, interior cargo packages, everything's still here. It's all dirty. It needs to get a good clean. So all the interior pieces are here. Matting is here. Moving to the other side. Okay. Weather guard mats, obviously not stock, but probably, you know, I would say beneficial in the winter. Seat functionality on driver's side works just fine, back and forth. No jamming, binding, anything like that. Same thing, the door interiors here, again, needs to get cleaned. So going out to body, no body damage. I'm not seeing any major flake differences comparing panels, like one of the skins was replaced. Silver paint can be pretty hard to match, especially the silver metallic for flake size. So I'm not seeing deviation between panels in terms of coloration. Not seeing any differences in panel gaps between front left quarter panels, hood, things like that. It's nothing to lead me to believe this vehicle has ever been in an accident. Same thing on panel gaps on passenger quarter panel, closing doors. Same thing here, gap looks even and straight. Passenger rear, same thing here, gap looks even and straight. Continuing back, looks good. Okay, so of course gas pistons, both of them still work. Common failure point on cars as they age will be, especially hatchbacks, will be these pistons, as well as the wiring up in the harness here that controls the electronics that are in the back of the hatch, like the heated mirror or the heated rear view glass or the brake lights and rear tail lights. So something to keep an eye on. It's not common to any one particular vehicle. It just happens. I replace those. Repair and replace that frequently. So same thing, going back around again. Panel gaps looking good. Panel gaps looking good. So the roof, not seeing any damage. Nobody's walked on it. No hail damage up here. So external skin, body, the external inspection looks good to me. Thank you.